Hey, Vincent here. Welcome to another Plasticity CAD tutorial. So first thing first, I would like to address a couple of comments that have been made on a couple of my recent videos. The consensus seems to be that I am going a little bit too fast for beginners. And, guilty as charged. I have been playing around with pacing in my videos. And I naively thought that maybe if I went a little bit quicker, things will seem a little bit less, boring. But, feedback has been received. I'll be going back to single models per video and at a slower and more detailed pace. We're going to do that starting today. We'll be going over the first model in the second match of the quarterfinal in Two Tall Toby's Spring Open Tournament, the matchup between MrAlex and Airwick. So let's take a look at the model.
MrAlex and Airwick, Latvia versus Canada. SolidWorks versus Onshape begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? The tolerance for this one is going to be plus or minus 3 grams. So these guys are grabbing a screen capture of the print and they are trying to put it onto their second screen and then come up with a strategy. And they are both already in their CAD systems. It just happened that quickly.
Okay, so taking a look at the model, this is a tier 4 model, which is a simpler model. This would be another good model for beginners. But essentially, the plan of attack when I saw this model is as follows. So you notice here that we have this basically cylindrical base or ring. So that's kind of the structure that we would want to build everything off of. So notice that there's a vertical symmetry over here. We're going to make the origin the center of the circle. And then from there, we notice that there's these 3 kind of spokes sticking out from this base. So we're going to build one of those first, and the easiest one to work off of, based off of symmetry, is this vertical one over here. We're going to build this one by looking at it from the front perspective, and then we're going to use the circular array tool to make 2 other copies of it. And if you look at it from the front view, notice that it also has this rounded shape with a radius of 19. So the easiest way in Plasticity to build these kind of shapes is to use a rectangle tool, and then you fillet the corners. So that's what we're going to be doing over here. So once that's done, extrude one of the spokes, use the radial array to make 3 of them, and then just add the holes from the top and from each of the spokes, and that'll be the end of the model. So with that in mind, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is to switch to the top perspective. My shortcut is Control-2, but I know that's a custom shortcut. If you need to know how to switch to the top perspective, you can always access it using the search menu by pressing the F key and then search for top. Here we can see that viewport navigate to top is what we want. So that's what we're going to do. So first clear the solid from the scene and then switch to the top perspective. And here we're just going to enter in all of the circles that we see over here. So here, using the center circle tool from the side over here, we'll click on the center circle tool, click on the origin, and then press tab and enter in 66 as one of the circles. I'm going to press / now to zoom in because it was a little bit too small. I'm going to zoom out now, and then using the center circle tool again, and I'm going to define the outer ring, which is given the diameter of 155. So press tab and then enter in 155. Enter twice to confirm. Now here, we're not really given the diameter of the inner ring, but from this separate view over here, we're given that there's kind of this offset or the shell of 8 millimeters. So that is the diameter, which is 8 millimeters inside or offset from the outer shell or the outer circle. Switching over to edge selection mode, or press 2 over here, or this top left button over here. Select this shell, press O for offset, D for distance, and then enter an 8. But notice how it's going in the wrong direction right now. It's offsetting outwards, whereas we want to offset inwards. So in order to do that, we just press the minus key, and that flips it in the other direction, and then enter twice to confirm. And then the last thing is we also want this 43 diameter through hole. So we're just, again, using the center circle tool right from the origin, press tab, enter in 43, and then enter twice to confirm. Now to start extruding, what we're going to do is create this 8 millimeter floor. And to do that, I'm going to use face selection mode. I'm going to select these inside faces, and I'm going to press D for distance, and I'm going to enter an 8. Next thing is this outer ring over here. And from the side profile, we're given that this ring is of height 45. So using face selection again, I'm going to select this outer ring, press D for distance, and enter in 45. Now I'm just going to rotate to the bottom view so I can select these two inner faces over here. We're going to now extrude that inner cylinder. So in face selection, I'll select these two faces and press D for distance. And we're given that there's a height of 88. So I'm going to enter 88. And that's pretty much our main shape. So before we move forward, I'm going to press A to select all of our solids, Q for Boolean, Q for union, and then right click to confirm. I can now select all of the curves over here and press X to delete them. Now, what we're actually going to do now is we're going to hide the solid and then switch back to the top perspective. Now what we're going to do is to construct one of the spokes. Like I mentioned before, we're going to do the one that's vertical. The easiest tool for me, if we were to do this in a speed modeling competition, is that notice that it sits right along this origin over here where it's split in half by the y-axis. So the easiest way for me to actually make that would be to use the center rectangle tool. So over here, where the corner rectangle is here, press on this tool, click on the origin. But notice how on the bottom, there's a shortcut that says C to switch from corner to center. So I'm going to press C to make it a center rectangle. And here we're given that from the origin, we know that there's a height of 100. But since we're dealing with a center circle tool, we kind of just need to double that amount. So press tab and enter in the height of 200 instead. Now for the width, we know over here, we're given that there's a radius of 19 for those rounded corners. This just means that if you were to draw a circle, 19 would be the radius, right? But that also means that in order to get the full width, 2 times the radius would be the diameter, which is the width that we need. So here we just enter 19 times 2, or we can enter in 38, and then press enter twice to confirm. Now, I only use the center rectangle tool because it helps us get it into the correct place faster, but we do really only want to deal with this bottom half. So just using the line tool over here, or Shift A, we'll select the line tool and right on the X-axis, I'm just going to cut this rectangle in half. I'm just going to use this half over here. And here we're given that, if we look at this view over here, we're given that the height of this is 41. So using the face selection tool, I'm just going to select the bottom half of the rectangle, press D for distance, and I'm going to enter in 41. Press enter twice to confirm. I can now unhide that other solid that I have. And this is sort of what we need, but we need to make those, of course, those rounded edges. So switching to edge selection mode, or 2 for the hotkey, or you can press on the button up here for edge selection. Select these 2 edges and then press B for fillet, D for distance, and then enter in 19. And that gives us our shape. Now what we need to do is we need to use the radial array in order to produce 2 more copies of this. So using the object selection or body selection, or press 4 as the keyboard shortcut, I'm going to select the spoke, and then on the bottom right over here, there's this radial array, and press on that button. I'm going to select the Z-axis is what I kind of want to revolve around. And here, notice that mine's already at 3 because I built this model before recording this video, but the default might be 8. So here you just need to hold down, as indicated on the bottom right over here, Shift and then your mouse wheel down to subtract. So to subtract until you get 2 additional copies, and then left click and then right click to confirm. So now before doing anything, I'm going to actually select all of the bodies over here and Boolean them together. So press A to select all of the solids, Q for Boolean, Q for union, then right click to confirm. And now notice that you have 1 solid over here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create that 43mm through hole on the top. So using the center circle tool, hover over the center of that top face until the white outline is shown in the middle cylinder. Click, press tab, and then enter in 43, and then press enter twice. Once you press enter twice, the curve is automatically selected, or the circle is automatically selected. So with the circle select, I'm going to press C to enter the cut menu, select the body that we have, and then right click to confirm. And once that operation is done, it would have cut this inner cylinder out from the solid and have it automatically selected. So with the cylinder selected, just press X to delete it. Now the last thing is to make these through holes from these spokes. So switching over to the front view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the center circle tool again, and I'm going to make sure that it's aligned to the bottom of center over here, because we're given that we need to create a 20mm diameter bore, and that is offset from the bottom of 22mm. So we're going to start off at the bottom over here, bottom center over here, click, drag, and then press tab and enter in 20. And then we also need to move it up 22mm. So So then you just press G to activate the move tool, Z to lock into the Z axis, then enter in 22, and then press enter twice to confirm. Notice how the face is not blue right now. That's because right now it's aligned to the origin over here. We actually want to move it onto this face first. And then the quick way to get 2 more instances of that is the tool that we used before, the radial array. So with this circle selected, I'm gonna press G to move, and then just drag this green handle to start moving it along the y-axis. And then holding down control, I just need to hover over this face to get it to snap right onto this face. Left click, then right click to confirm. With this curve selected, what we're gonna now use is the radial array. And similar to before how we created 2 more instances of the spokes, we're gonna create 2 more instances of this circle curve. And we're gonna radial array it around the Z-axis. And this time it'll already have 3 pre-selected because we used 3 from before. So I just need to left click, then right click to confirm. So the last thing we need to do is just to subtract these faces or extrude cut this face on all 3 of these spokes. I don't think there's a simple way to do that, so we just need to select the face one by one. So here in face selection, I'm gonna select this blue face. I'm gonna press D for distance, making sure that it goes all the way to the center and through the center body. Left click, press W for difference, then click on the main body, then right click to confirm. And making sure that, so again, rotating the camera, we're making sure that it cuts all the way through the center. And then we repeat that for the other 2 spokes. D for distance, left click, W for difference, left click on the model, right click to confirm. And then lastly, this one, select this face, D for distance, just drag it all the way into the center, left click, W, left click the model, right click to confirm. And that is our model. Just double checking that the hole went all the way through, and it sure did. Now to calculate the mass, using the body selection tool, we're gonna select this main solid. On the bottom right there, it gives us the volume. And opening up the calculator, we enter in the volume, which is 580,015 millimeters, 0.16 millimeters cubed. And the density from Too Tall Toby is 7,800 kilograms per meters cubed. So we're gonna multiply this number by 0.0078, which gives us our mass of...
And MrAlex comes in with an answer. 4.524 grams. And that is correct. Wow. Wow, these guys are fast.
Airwick is selected.
4,524 grams. That is a solution. So hopefully this is a little bit more of a beginner-friendly tutorial. Hopefully the pacing is good. But as always, keep leaving your comments. I read through each and every one of them. And if you have any more suggestions on how to make the videos better, let me know. And hopefully I'll make better videos. Again, thanks for watching. Have a good day.